Okay. I believe I have fixed the issue. I am back. Alright. Now for the final test. Does it paint on the right screen? Yes! Cool. Erase. Goodbye. Alright. So, where were we? Oh yeah, I was talking about my good friend and VTube mom. I'm just gonna keep referring to her that way because it always makes her a little bit embarrassed. Rulu. So she is what she refers to as a Neko, which to her is, yes, I'm such a great artist, which is to her a alien race of cat people with split tails, and that their race is kind of magically like war inclined, so deceptively destructive, or not so deceptively if you ask Rue. So if with those kind of thoughts and abilities, like, what are we going to go into? So I have a bit of inside lore because I was alarms. Why are you doing this to me? I was the one who actually came up with and helped with the development of the of Rulu's lore. I worked as kind of the like sounding board for Rulu's ideas, so we can get it all like written out and typed up and all that, and helped with it. So using that information I have from back then and what I've seen of Rulu as a streamer, let's try and see if we can make a really fun like D&D character out of it. So, let's write down what we know. So, Rulu, she is a survival horror streamer. I say that because like she is a huge fan of the Resident Evil games. She loves Leon Kennedy. Like, she has some survival instincts in her, and that sort of from that situation. Let's also combine that with the fact that from her lore, she's a powerful magic user. So we have to have magic in some sort of way. And cats are known to be sneaky, so let's add some sneak in there. So, trying to think about how some of this stuff goes. What Here's kind of my thought process on what I think like the classes that fit best with Rue would be. So like we know from Rulu's lore that magic is one of her biggest strengths. Like number one. Come on, little thing. Number one. We also know that if you donate enough on her channel while she is live, which I think she might be right now, she has a little dance. She has a little song that she'll sing. It's adorable. You should donate. You should watch her, and so you can donate for it. So she has a little bit of a music incline, and she has her character set up to be kind of agile as a fighter. So when I kind of add all of these like together into like a little soup, I'm realizing I think I want to go with a multi-class because there's just not one class that fits everything the way I want it perfectly. But if I multi-class, I can really get a really cool character out of it. So, that being said, if we want to add her magic and musical abilities together, you could totally go Bard, but I don't think really. Uh, yeah, my little stream thing's trying to tell me that I need to put on like the closed captioner, but don't know how to do that, so. Alright, um, so you could pretty much say every VTuber in the universe is a bard in some way. We're a performer, we're acting, we're giving entertainment to people. Like, you can't really argue that fact. But if I just make everyone a bard, it's going to be so boring. And to be fair, when I think of a bard, I don't think of like just singing. I think of the bard in the utility sense. Bards are your support class, but because a lot of their magic is either buffs, debuffs, healing. Yes, there's some offensive magic in there. Don't get me wrong. You could totally build like the offensive powerhouse D&D like bard that exists, and some of those subclasses can really throw that into it for you. But it kind of feels like you have to go out of your way for that, you know? And that's not really what I want to go for with this build for Rue. Instead, I want to throw that music and add it with the magic. And there's only one class I know that does that in a way that I enjoy, and that would be Blade. A Blade Singer Wizard. Alright. Now, you're probably going to be like, how does that apply to Rulu in any way, shape, or form? Let's dive a little bit into Rulu's lore. Rulu originally comes from a planet that their academies teach you how to basically destroy, and all of the other aspects that come with like how to basically become the most dominant magical creatures in the universe. That's just how that culture evolves. And a few of them are known for destroying entire planets and galaxies. Like, it's that sort of thing that comes from the people that Rulu's lore has set for her race. So, a wizard, which is the class of studying to learn magic, fits really, really well with that. And then if you add Blade Singer into it, it will tie in the music aspects that you can see occasionally on Rulu's streams. See, it works out really, really well. And it really explains the extent of where Rulu's magical power really comes from. It comes from Rulu's wit, which also ties into the survival horror and other the like RPG horror games that she plays and things of that nature that all require her wit to survive. So, I feel like this is a really good option. And to be fair, I honestly think that I'm going to go with like 6 levels here as your base. So that means I want to put 3 levels here into Blade Singer Wizard, just so I can at least get to Blade Singer. The other multi-class I think I want to do, because there's... Oh, come on. Where I'll put 3 levels in, is I think I want to go Soul Blade, Rogue. Because the Rogue would teach in the sneakiness, the agile. It would be something that she could have been trained in how to fight with, ability-wise. And the fact that she kind of... One of her good options in some of the games she does is sneaking around, running and killing. So, it works really well in that regard. The Soul Blade, however, I specifically picked this because it's part of what Rulu wanted as part of like how her abilities were set up, was like this like psionic magic mix almost. And by using Soul Blade, you get that really good mix, and you can totally flavor like the Soul Blade daggers as like cat claws to really kind of go whole hog into that like Neko aesthetic that she might have, that she has. So, oop. With that being said, let's see if we can come up with a cool design, something that really can make her pop. You know? So, first things first, let's figure out what pose do we want. This definitely has to be like something dynamic and fun. But we also, the reason I'm trying out this new art program is it's Ibis Paint, or Ibis X Paint. I Ibis Paint. I can pronounce words and read. I swear, it's totally a thing I can do. Um, they have these materials that you can pull out, which is like they have whole body tracing sketches and things like that you can use. And they're like the different like chibi settings, so you can get like the 4 head tall, 3 head tall. They have proper 6 and 7 head tall ones too. Ooh, this looks like a fun one. That actually does look like a nice little like cheat pose. I'm a cheating. I'm gonna use this. Did any of you ever have a DeviantArt phase? If you were old enough to be on DeviantArt when it was still good, because this is totally giving me like high key those like DeviantArt like base vibes where it's like, these are your bases. Feel free to reference it. If you use it, so you always have to reference me. Let let us know, and then you could like grab these things and you can draw your own hair and face and clothes on them and stuff like that. This is totally giving me those vibes right now with these options. I've always wanted to try this, so I'm like, I'm gonna see how this works. So I'm on a separate tab so I don't do it. Now I don't know what to do. First things first. Rulu's iconic long hair. I don't need to use that ear because cat ear. Oh. I don't know why, but just like this stage, it's not giving Rulu, it's giving like Fukuro from Tokyo Mew Mew, and well, I live for both of those options. That's not what I'm going for, so maybe I won't go with that reference sketch. Well, boys, there's a Noodles nearby. Hello, hello Noodles. You have been perceived. Hello. Hello, little man. My cat Noodles was stopping by and saying hello and fiddling with stuff underneath my desk. So I was telling him hello, and now he's just wanting attention. Apparently, he does not think I should stream. I should just spend my entire days, every waking second, just giving him scritches and love and attention. Yeah, is that what you agree and believe in? Only this? Give up on all otherworldly desires except petting the cat. Yeah, that's what my cat feels. Alright. So, the way Blade Singer works is that you require one hand free and one hand with your weapon. Soul Blade gives you a dagger that you can kind of use that has psychic psionic energy that returns to you. That means they work pretty well together. And technically, if you were going to say, like, make this into an actual D&D character to play, if you put enough levels into it to get, say you did roll as your options and you got some good stats and you could afford to take a few feats here and there, honestly, throwing yourself into the feat for duelist to give you some more AC might honestly make this a stupid broken combo. Because, like, think about it. You are in... So, if I remember correctly, Blade Singer... Let's look up Blade Singer. Blade Singer Wizardo. The world. Yeah. So you get light armor. You gain proficiency with one type of one-handed melee weapon of your choice. You gain proficiency in performance if you don't already have it. Understandable. You get that at the second level. You get Blade Song, which adds a bonus to your AC equal to your intelligence modifier, increases walk speed by 10 feet, advantage on dexterity, acrobatics checks, gain a bonus to any constitution saving throws you make to maintain your concentration on a spell, bonus equal to your intelligence modifier, plus minimum plus 1. You use this equal to your proficiency modifier. You get extra attack at 6, Song of Defense at 10, and Song of Victory at 14. Yeah, at 10, the Song of Defense, you can direct your magic to absorb damage while your Blade Song is active. When you take damage, you can use your reaction to expend one spell slot to reduce the damage to you by an amount equal to 5 times the spell slot's level. So, at 10th level of Wizard, you would probably have, what, 6th level spells? So that would be by 30 damage? And then Song of Victory, which is at 14, you add your intelligence modifier to the damage of your melee weapon attacks while your Blade Song is active. Okay, cool. Like, sounds like a good options. But not really as needed? Honestly, I think if you're going to build this all the way up to level 20, honestly, extra attack at 6th level might be all you really need. Because if I remember correctly, Rogue doesn't get extra attack at all. Rogue. 5e. Yeah, no extra attack, nothing like that. But by taking 6th level, you'll get all the way up to 14th level, which will give you Blind Sense as a rogue. Plus, it gives you the 13th level Roguish Archetype. Which is Psychic Veil for Soul Blade. Where you can weave... Cats are being annoying in the background. At 13th level, you can weave a Veil of Psychic Static to mask yourself as an action. You can magically become invisible along with anything you are wearing or carrying for up to an hour, or until you dismiss the effect. Visibility ends early immediately if you deal damage to a creature, or if you force a creature to make a saving throw. Once you use this feature, you can't do so until long rest. unless you expend psionic energy die to use this feature again. Which you would have a third level, you get your psionic die, which the number of these dice equal to twice your proficiency bonus. And it increases a die at their die is increased from like let's D6, and then at 11th level, which you'll get to with that, D10. Basically your simple melee weapons and finesse thrown. It's a magical blade. Is this da 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 da? It deals psychic damage equal to 1d6 plus ability modifier you use for the attack roll. The blade vanishes immediately after it hits or misses the target and leaves no mark on the target if it deals damage. After you attack the blade, you can make a ranged or melee weapon attack with a second psychic blade as a bonus action on the same turn, provided the other hand is free to create it. The damage die of this bonus attack is 1d4 instead of 1d6. Da 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 da. Soul Blaze at level 9. If you make an attack with homing strikes and psychic blows and miss the target, you can roll one psionic energy die and add the number to the roll and attack to make it so it can try and hit. And then there's psychic teleportation as a bonus action. Manifest one of your psychic blades. Spend one psionic energy die and roll it. Throw the blade at an unoccupied space you can see up to a number of feet away equal to 10 times the number you rolled, and you can teleport to that space. So that high mobility and honestly, it really kind of makes you dangerous. Especially considering by the point that you're going to get 14 points of rogue, you're going to be at 7d6 of sneak attack damage that you can apply plus blade singing. So you're going to have most likely max intelligence, max dexterity is like your goals for this, which would give you while blade singing, you'd have a plus 10 to your AC, and if you're able to get studded leather armor, which is an AC 13, that gives you a DC 23. And if you save your wizard spells to do things like shield, that's an extra 5. You just had AC up to DC 28 while blade singing. You'll also have evasion and uncanny dodge to begin with, and you have advantage on acrobatics to be able to dodge those things. Because you can always just, hey, if you have a cool DM, you can always just be like, hey, can I use my acrobatics to dodge? I guess since it is a dex save. So, if you have one of those cool DMs that kind of let you rule of cool a bit, then you most definitely might be able to do that. Yeah. So all of that stuff kind of really works out in your favor by combining these two. And then what would wizard go? If we went 6 levels total of wizard, that would give you up to 3rd level spells. Yeah, so you'd have extra attack on your attacks, and then as a bonus action, you can throw another blade from your offhand, and so you're actually gonna be able to pump out a lot of damage. If any one of those 3 blades actually has advantage, you can apply, and they say only one. If all 3 have advantage for your ability to do that, you'd be able to at least guarantee at least one sneak attack because you'll have at least 3 advantage strikes to try and do that with. Which honestly is a really good idea. Plus, like, you're going to be really fucking fast. You could literally bonus action disengage and have 40 feet to get away if you wanted to action dash. So you have 80 feet you can cover in literally one turn. It sounds like a really great combo. I think I've made Rue really strong. But now that I'm no longer living on the Googles, let's see if we can try and figure out, like, what would best describe Rue. Considering, let's also take into account that here's Rulu's base design. Long hair, cat ears, booba, yes, this is the prettiest thing you will have ever seen on this internet. A sweater dress that reveals her shoulders. Sock feet leggies. Because no shoes. But socks for warm feet. And a tail with a split. She has her Hime hair that's split dyed pink and purple. With the sweater being purple as well. So there's not much aesthetically to go off of. So I feel like I have a lot of just kind of freedom. If I were to base on, say, like the military outfit, which she's been drawn in before, I could go more in that route, but I don't feel if it fully fits the Blade Singer or what modern Rue really is, because that academy outfit slash kind of like military outfit is about Rulu's past, who she was, not who she is now. She's discovered the Earth. She discovered all you squid kittens. She loves this place. You know? So maybe we kind of go in the route, and she's gotten comfy. So maybe we kind of go into that kind of like comfy route, and that kind of like she's created her new self. So maybe let's go with our created new look, just in general. So let's see. I'm thinking, how about a dancey pose? So like face here. That would be the spine curve, hip, shoulder, torso, and then leggy and feet. Leggy, feet, and then arm, hand, and then we could do kind of a that shape for that, and then arm, arm, hands. I also think of like some sort of flowiness attached to that, so that way it goes like that, and then As someone who's done a commission for Rue before, one of the things that Rue has always been very like particular about, at least with my artwork, is making sure that her tail gets involved. It is a very important part of her character design. So we got that. Get some ears. And then if I can maybe uh you know what? I have the biggest like artist crush on this artist you might all know called Hanakyu. She is just some of the pretty I love Hanakyu hair. Like there is nothing prettier than Hanakyu hair. You cannot change my mind on that. Like I don't care if you have to go tab out just so you can Google who Hanakyu is. She has some of the prettiest hair in this universe. Like, Alright. You know what? Hanakyu. Where is the one I was looking for? Because it has Sakura Miku. Alright. Grab a Windows capture. I mean, come on. Like, can you not? Like, this is so cool. Like, I wish I could do hair like that. Ah! Also, this was, if you... She actually showed this picture on stream because she was using the same art program I'm currently trying to learn how to use right now. So, there we go. Let us do our best. So, now that I have the base kind of roughed in, I'm going to try and actually create the shapes. Maybe not sketch on the layer, sketch on the right one. Right. Now that is a muscular arm. That seems more correct. Let's go with that. Do. Let us torso. I still don't know how to rotate this screen at all.
Like, rotate your screen.
Rude.
How is that rude? Shocked you would say something horny back, you fucking weirdo.
I wasn't even being horny. Eh.
You weren't.
All right. roughing in this shapes here. Right, so we got torso, we got hip. There we go. I think that's about that proportions.
Hey, quit doing that. Now I know who's knocking it over.
There we go.
Quit knocking it over.
There we go. Yeah, I think that's the right shapes for that body pose. Let's connect that just so it's a solid line. There we go. That seems like appropriate hair. At least to gesturalize the shape. Now, what am I going to do for the rest of this? That seems about right for now. Welcome to my art process. I draw 1,000 things, and then hate it. And then I erase. And then I draw it again. And then I hate it even more, and erase. And wish I kept the first option. I think when I disguise this soul blade as a symbol chakram combination, because I just think that idea kind of sounds just cool. So let's rule a cool it there. Oh, I know what I'm forgetting. There we go. So if we combine all of this together, what do I want the outfit to be? I think I made a Pinterest board for this. I did not. I made it for other things, so there is no Pinterest board. If I just go with the art concept of cool is cool. So how about this leg band that ties into some socks that go like that? So then that way we have that kind of an option. I think maybe we go a split-tailed skirt to kind of play into the thematic shape language of the split tail. Maybe not the way that is. There we go. So it ends with that split tail, and then probably has a single, I think would be really cool to do a singular longer piece like that. Something that kind of plays up the movement of this character. And especially considering this character is known for being busty, let's put him in a bodice style corset. So that just feels kind of right. Mm-hmm. But that does kind of leave a little bit of blank space for the upper body. So if we maybe went to kind of go in the similar route to what we did with the socks and matched with gloves, I think that would be a really cool combination. But on the hand that is not used for a weapon, we can have maybe a little tied accessory that can encircle the piece and give it more motion and flowiness. I feel like that really works well. Let's give the bangs an acknowledgement. And I would say that kind of fits the rough idea of the sketch. So that means I can get rid of that level layer and I can start working on a more refined layer. Welcome to my art process. More just infinite refining. Let's go for that one. Symmetry ruler. The joys of a symmetry ruler. I'm on the wrong page. There we go. There we go. Rough sketch of a face. Off goes the ruler because I don't need it for the second. And like, I'm gonna be completely honest. I think Hime Bangs and like the Hime cut looks super cute, but I hate drawing it. It does not look good in my style. It is probably on the list of not favorite options, you know. So
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day.